Hi learners, in this video I'm going to talk about the various factors affecting wage fixation. Whenever wages is fixed for an employee, there are certain factors which have to be considered. So here are a list of some of the factors which have to be considered while fixing the wages for the employees. The first factor is whenever wages is fixed for the employees in an organization, the wage structure of an organization must be that which is followed in similar firms. Now, similar firms here means competing firms or comparable firms. So, whenever an organization is fixing wages for its employees, they should also consider the wages which is paid by similar organizations for similar kind of jobs and then fix the wages for their employees. Because if they do not, if an organization does not pay wages on par with that which is paid by other similar firms, then the employees will leave the organizations and join other firms. So, in order to make sure that the a workforce or the human resources is retained in the organization, the organization should pay wages which is similar to that which is paid by similar firms. Next is pressure of trade unions. Now, the pressure of trade unions also is an important factor affecting wage fixation. Trade unions refers to the voluntary association of workers in an organization, and generally trade unions is formed in order to secure the benefits of collective bargaining for the employees. Now, generally individual employees, when they go and bargain for their individual rights, the management may not adhere to their demands. So therefore, to make sure that the demands of the workforce are met and they are given good welfare facilities, the employees in an organization form trade unions to secure the advantage of collective bargaining. Because collectively, when the employees go and bargain with the employers for their rights, then the management will definitely listen to their opinions or their concerns, and the demands will be met. So sometimes there's a lot of pressure also from the trade unions, to ensure that adequate wages is paid to the employees so that their workforce in the organization are satisfied. And the demands from the trade unions therefore greatly influences the remuneration. Next, however, the demands of the trade unions may be adopted or may not be adopted depending on the viability of the proposal. Like if the trade unions demand an adequate increase or a small increase, in the wages which the organization is capable to pay. That is the financial resources of the organization. If it is sufficient enough to meet the increase in the wages, then the organization will accept the demand for increasing wages. Whereas on the other hand, if the financial capacity of the organization is such that it cannot afford an increase in wages, then the demand for the trade unions for increasing the wages cannot be met. So next is the cost of living. Now, cost of living here refers to see as and when there is an increase in cost of living. Therefore, then the remuneration paid should also vary. Now, in order to meet the increase in the cost of living, there is a component in wages which is called as dearness allowance. Now, dearness allowance refers to the allowance which is given to the employees in order to meet the increasing cost of living. So, whenever there is an increase in the cost of living, the dearness allowance which is paid to the employees also increases. Next is availability of skilled labor. We all know the law of supply. When there is an excess of supply or when there is an adequate supply of a particular commodity or labor, then the wages which is paid to the laborers will be meager and it will be just adequate. Whereas on the other hand, if the supply of skilled labor is very less, that means there is more demand for skilled labor but the supply is less. In such cases, the wages which is paid to the skilled labor will be more. So basically, what I intend to tell over here is that if the supply of skilled labor is less, then the remuneration will be paid, which will be paid, it will be more, and vice versa. Next is labor unrest. Now, employee unrest or labor unrest happens when the working class demands for increase in remuneration, and this demand for increase in remuneration is not met by the management. Then in such cases, the laborers will resort to practices like strikes, And strikes is a practice of avoiding or temporarily avoiding going to work. So whenever the workers resort to strike, there will be a loss for the management because there is a loss of productive days. So in order to, the wages which is paid to the workers should be sufficient enough, or it should be satisfactory for the workers. Otherwise, it will result in labor unrest. And whenever there is labor unrest, even practices like absenteeism will increase. Absenteeism is a practice where the workers try to avoid coming to work, and this is again not good for any organization. Further, labor unrest will also result in increase in labor turnover. Labor turnover refers to the number of employees or the number of workers leaving the organization. This in turn is not good for the organization. So therefore, to avoid such forms of labor unrest, the organization should make sure that it is adequately paying wages to its workers. Next, another important factor affecting the wage fixation is the financial ability of the company to pay the increase in wages. Now, see, no doubt every firm should pay wages, which is that which is paid to in competing firms. But sometimes, if the competing firm is a big entity, then they can afford to pay, increased wages. Whereas on the other hand, if the organization is a small firm, then they cannot pay on par with that which is paid in the competing firms. So therefore, many companies though they may like to increase the wages and pay on par with the other competing firms, but sometimes the financial position of the company may not be good. Therefore, the financial status of the company also determines the wage structure. Next is productivity of labor. See, we all have just studied through the objectives of compensation that the equal pay must be given for equal work, which means higher the productivity of labor, higher should be the remuneration which is be paid to them. Next, lastly, we have profitability of the firm. Now, if the companies or if the organizations are earning more profit, then they have to be a steady growth. And whenever there is a steady growth in the profits year by year, then they have to give also this steady growth in the profits of the firm should also be reflected in the wages by way of giving increased wages. Whereas on the other hand, if the profitability profits of the firm are declining, then in such cases, the wages cannot be increased year after year, because this will if the wages are increased even when there are not sufficient profits, this will result in financial burden for the company, which is not good in the long run. So these are the various factors affecting wage fixation. Now, among the various principles of wage fixation, the first principle is definite plan. A definite plan here means that there should be a definite plan to ensure that the difference in pay for different kinds of jobs are based upon various variations in the job requirements, such as skill, efforts, responsibility, the working conditions, and the various mental and physical requirements. Now, if a job, if an employee is working for more number of hours, then it should clearly reflect in the wage plan the increase in wages for such employees. And further, the amount of wage, the kind of wages which is paid to skilled employees, unskilled employees, and semi-skilled employees, there must be a clear demarcation of these the wages which is paid to these different categories of workers. Next is the general level of wages. Now, the general level of wages which is paid to the employees or to the workers must be in line with that which is paid by similar or competing firms. Next is equal pay for equal work should be given. That means if the depending on the kind of the complexity of the job, the wages must also increase or decrease depending on the complexity. Next is equitable practice. Now, equitable practice means here an equitable practice should be adopted for the recognition of individual differences in ability and contribution. So, so workers who are contributing more to the organization should be paid more wages than compared to the workers who are contributing less. So that's why there are certain components in wages, like maybe commission and all, which keeps on which is varied. Further, sometimes employees also work overtime. In such cases, employees should be given overtime allowance or overtime wages for the extra time which they have spent in the organization. Next, another principle of wage fixation is there must be a clear procedure for hearing and adjusting wage complaints. Now, there sometimes there are various occasions wherein the workers or the trade unions are not satisfied with the wages which is given by the organization. So, therefore, in such cases, there must be a clear procedure which must be detailed out and informed to the workers, which they can resort to whenever they are not satisfied with the wages which is given to them. And secrecy on wage matters should not be used to cover up hazards or or unreasonable wage programs. And whenever there is a clear procedure which helps in dealing with wage complaints, then in such cases workers will not resort to practices like absenteeism, labor turnover, or strikes. And also it will ensure that there will be good industrial harmony and industrial relations between employees and workers, employees and employers. Next, the wage structure which is paid should also ensure that payments are made promptly, and correct payments are made. Generally, workers are given yearly hikes. So, all these yearly hikes must be clearly incorporated in the wage programs. And lastly, there must be the wage committee which must be established in an organization in order to revise the wages from time to time. So, these are the various principles of wage fixation.